The Bison football team's leaving the friendly confines of the Fargo Dome this weekend to continue their storied rivalry with South Dakota State. North Dakota State hitting the road to Brookings for the Dakota Marker game to go head-to-head with the top team in the country and some possible weather. Playing outside in November is always a gamble, especially in Brookings. The Bison are playing at Dyke House Stadium for the first time since the 2021 season. Their games last year were in the Fargo Dome and in Frisco, both better climates for football than Brookings, South Dakota tends to be. While the Bison have their new indoor practice facility, head coach Matt Entz says that they'll be taking practices outside to try to prepare.
We'll be outside for the majority, probably the first half of practice the next 2 nights. But at the same time, we've got to balance it with having quality work, too. It looks like the weather's not supposed to be super bad. I thought I saw potentially upper 40s. Now, again, upper Midwest, that could change in a blink of an eye. So we'll keep our fingers crossed at this point.
Keep your Valley News Live weather app handy. The Bison are looking to snap a 4-game losing skid against their biggest rivals this weekend. Funnily enough, the last time the Bison beat the Jacks was in Brookings in 2019. And after surviving a scare, the North Dakota Fighting Hawks are preparing to hit the road as well. UND was nearly upset by Indiana State, but kicked a tying field goal to force overtime with less than a minute left. And then Tommy Schuster threw the game-winning touchdown to Quincy Vaughn in that overtime period. Now it's time for some road trips. The Hawks heading to Murray State and then to USD. Now the road has not been a friendly spot for the Fighting Hawks this year. All 3 of their losses have been away from the Alara Center. They haven't won a game on the road yet this season. Head coach Bubba Schweigert talked a bit about trying to cure those road woes.
I don't make that big of a deal about going on the road. I know a lot of people outside the building make a big deal about going on the road. We want to play well, and we've played tough people on the road, and we've played good opponents on the road, but we got to play well. When you play well, you get energy and you become really confident in a game, and that's what we got to do. We got to execute at a high level and create our own energy.
This marks the first ever meeting between these two teams as Murray State continues their first year in the Missouri Valley. The Hawks with a chance to grab their first road victory against the 2-6 Racers. And I might as well just save this script to use on a weekly basis. UND goaltender Ludvig Persson has been named the NCHC Goaltender of the Week yet again. Persson's been named the Conference Goalie of the Week in each of the first 3 weeks to start the season. He finished the weekend series against Minnesota State with 51 saves, securing a win and a tie between the pipes. He has some company this week, though. Garrett Pike has been named the NCHC Defenseman of the Week after finishing the series with 5 assists. And we are officially on trade deadline watch for the Minnesota Vikings with the loss of quarterback Kirk Cousins for the rest of the season. Minnesota has until tomorrow at 3 p.m. our time to make a trade. Right now they haven't made any moves, but we're going to continue to monitor that up until the deadline. They could also bring in a free agent if they are so inclined. There's a former Bison quarterback who has a lot of NFL experience, has played on some good teams. He doesn't have a home yet this year.
There aren't a lot of, potentially starting quarterbacks just sitting out there, but Carson Wentz is one of them.
Yeah, we'll get rid of all of the mystery around that I was talking about. Carson.
Yeah, I figured it'd help people out a little bit. Hey, Russ is back in after the break. We'll look at your forecast and when the snow finally, it looks like it's moved out of Fargo. We'll see when it gets out of the whole area after the break.